Everybody, welcome to the makeup chair. So today I'm going to be doing a facial. So if you are interested in trying to find out the way of doing a facial, it's just the way that I do it, and I do it kind of once a week. So if you're interested, just keep watching. So first thing you want to take is you want to take a lip balm. I'm using Vaseline here, but a lip balm would probably be the best thing. Apply it to the lips because we're going to soften them up because we're going to be exfoliating them later. Now you want to take your cleanser. So whatever type of cleanser that is right for your skin type, take a little bit onto your hands and warm it up. And that way it's just going to be easier to blend when it goes into the skin. So then you want to apply it onto the face using kind of circular motions, and that's going to get it really deep down into the pores and remove any dirt. Now if you have any makeup on, I would suggest to do the cleanse twice, but as I don't have any makeup on in this, I'm only going to be doing it once. Then you want to make sure that you remove it all. So take like a face cloth, or I'm using a mitt here, and dampen it and just rub it over the face. Now you can use cotton wool if you have that handy, or you can use water depending on the type of cleanser that you use, but make sure that it's completely removed. Now we're going to take some eye makeup remover. So whatever type of eye makeup remover that you have is fine. I'm going to be using the Garnier water-based one because it works really well. So you put it onto damp cotton wool because the damp cotton wool doesn't soak up the product. It actually just allows the product to be used on the face instead of just sinking into the cotton wool. Wipe it over the face very gently, making sure that you don't kind of damage the whole area, and make sure you use something that is actually for removing eye makeup. That's going to help to break it down rather than actually be scrubbing at it too much. Now you want to take your toner, and this is just going to make sure that everything is completely removed from the face. Put it onto damp cotton wool and just wipe it over the face. I'm using Skin Truth, but you can use whatever type of toner that is available to you or is for your skin type. Now we're going to exfoliate the lips. So I'm going to take the mitt again and just put it onto the tips of my finger and kind of rub it over in kind of circular motions. That's just going to remove any dead cells, and because we had the lip balm on or the Vaseline on already, it's actually going to soften it and make it a lot easier for it to move. But don't go too harsh because the skin on your lips is very sensitive, so just be very gentle so you don't actually cause cuts or anything like that. Now we want to take a little bit more of either lip balm or Vaseline. I'm just going to use Vaseline for both of these because I am going to be using it on my eyes. So first of all, you want to take a little bit of Vaseline and top up the lips because you have kind of removed everything. So you want to add some moisturizer back onto the lips because the lips don't have any natural oils going onto them. So you want to make sure that you top it up regularly so they don't dry out, especially after you've exfoliated them. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the Vaseline and apply it to my lashes. Now this is totally optional. This is just something that I like to do because it conditions the lashes, and also if you want to put a little bit on your eyebrows, it's going to stop the mask from sinking onto your eyebrows or anything like that. It's going to make it a lot easier to remove. Anywhere that has hair, it's just best to add a little bit of Vaseline just to make it a lot easier for you. But I just put a little bit onto my lashes because it actually helps them to grow and it kind of conditions them in that way. But that's just something that I personally do. If you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. Now we're going to take our mask. So I am using the Garnier Pure Mask, which is the 3-in-1. Now if you were actually doing this, you would probably take some exfoliator at this stage, but because this is an exfoliating scrub mask, I'm actually going to be doing the exfoliating later. But if you wanted to actually do it now, that'd be totally fine. Take a little bit of your exfoliator, rub it over the face, and kind of do like little circles the same way that you did the cleanser, and then remove it in the same way. Next step is to take the mask. So I'm going to take a little bit of the mask onto my hands and just apply it onto the face. Want it kind of a thin layer, but you don't want it to completely disappear because then it doesn't have anything to really work with. The mask that I have is zinc and clay, which is really good for oily skin, especially coming into the summer when your skin is a little bit oilier, depending on your skin type. So if you wanted to choose something for a drier skin, you use a moisturizing kind of mask. Something for an oilier skin, that's more clay. If you have combination skin, you want to buy two and kind of mix them. In T-zone, it's probably the clay, and then on the cheeks, it might be the moisturizing or the sensitive mask. Then I'm just going to go over my eyebrows and make sure that there's nothing, kind of the mask isn't left on my eyebrows or anything, and make sure it's not anywhere around the eyes. Because it is clay, it will dry it out, so make sure that it's not around any sensitive area like the lips or the eyes. You want to leave your mask to dry for about 10 to 15 minutes, but read what it says on the packet because it might be a little bit shorter. The Garnier one says to leave it on for 3 minutes, but I like to leave it on for a little bit longer. And then I like to leave it until it dries out, and that way, if you know, it's going to work a lot better. But if you need it to speed up the drying process, what you can do is you can place your hands very close to your face, and that's just going to lock air, kind of heat in between your hand and your skin, and that's just going to help the mask to kind of dry up a little bit more, especially if you're using like a clay based mask. Now you want going to remove the mask. Now, normally you just remove the mask by putting a little bit of water into your face, kind of maybe blending it in a little bit, kind of foaming it up, and that's kind of what I'd want to do here, but I'm going to be using the mitt because I want to use the exfoliate that's in the mask as well. So I'm just going to dampen the face with the mitt, and then I'm just going to rub it over very, very gently, just to kind of remove the mask and exfoliate at the same time, because this is what this particular product is used for. It'll break it down into kind of a kind of watery clay based product as well, which is also cleansing the skin, so it gets a very, very deep down clean. So you just want to work over the face very, very gently if you are doing it in the same way that I'm doing it. Otherwise, just take a little bit of water, splash it over the face, foam up the mask a little bit, and then rinse it off. After it's completely been removed, you want to tone again, just to make sure that there is nothing left on the skin, the mask isn't left on the skin or anything. So just take your toner, wipe it over the face, and just make sure that everything's removed. You might want to do tone twice depending on the type of person that you are. I love to tone twice because I love toner. Now you want to moisturize. It's very, very important to moisturize after you've a mask, especially when you've used a clay mask. So I like to take my Nivea Light Moisturizing Day Cream, but you can use a night cream if you're doing this at night, it doesn't really matter. I want it to keep very fresh, so that's why I'm using the Nivea Visage Light Moisturizing Day Cream. And it's got UV filters and it feels really, really fresh, and it's for normal to combination skin, so that's why I really like it. And that's everything. You just want to make sure you don't apply like makeup, or you don't maybe smoke or in a smoky environment, because your skin is like it's working away and it's keeping itself really clean. So just allow it to stay that kind of fresh and breathe. Let it breathe for like at least 24 hours, if not a bit longer. And then you can, in the morning time, you can just do a quick cleanse very, very gently. You don't want to overdo it with too many products at this stage because you have done a full facial. Now what can happen is sometimes spots and blemishes can kind of come to the surface, but that is okay because it's not being caused by the actual products. It's just the fact that the skin is kind of regenerating itself and it's pushing it to the surface. It doesn't mean that it's created it, it was actually already there. But any of the spots, like I have a few spots and they've actually gone down a little bit because of the clay mask has kind of dried them out a little bit. But yeah, leave it for about 24 hours, and if you're doing this before an event, leave it 10 to 7 days beforehand, just to make sure that the skin, any blemishes that come up, the skin is allowed to deal with and get rid of, so that your skin is really, really fresh. Because first 3 days or something after a facial, skin can be kind of irritated, kind of more blemishes can come out, but that will ease off after a while, and then you'll have very, very, very nice clean and pretty skin. So I really hope that you enjoyed that, and if you have any questions or anything, just let me know here. If you have problems with your skin, just let me know, because I have had so many problems with my skin, and I've kind of worked out a really good routine to try and keep my skin clean and keep those blemishes down. And I will put a link in the box below if you want to see my facial routine and all the products I use, because I think I found a really good way of dealing with combination skin, which is I have combination skin, so that's kind of what I do. All those products are kind of for combination skin. So I really hope that you enjoyed this, and like I said, if you have any more questions, just let me know. I'm Sinead Katie, and thanks for watching.